will move on to the finals. We don't know their opponent yet. That second match will be after this one. So let's start top four. Montana leading the Shadow Rider and Incineroar compared to Urshifu, Rapid Strike, and Raging Bolt for Adi.
Very different thoughts going into this very first match of things. Incineroar can, of course, offer that Fake Out pressure onto this turn, and it will be Intimidate down onto the Urshifu if it does want to go for something like the close combat instead of that Surging Strikes. Of course, Surging Strikes very tempting when you are staring down an Incineroar and a Calyrex, considering the Incineroar will take that super effective. Calyrex definitely doesn't feel safe in this situation whatsoever, and of course, when you're staring down an Assault Vest Raging Bolt onto the other end, you wouldn't be doing the most amount of damage, and you could be at risk for losing that on the first turn.
We'll see what happens here. Montana feeling on the back foot, at least with this Calyrex Shadow Rider, but Fake Out goes towards the Urshifu slot, stopping Urshifu from attacking this turn. The Astro Barrage hitting into both of Adi's Pokemon. The follow-up damage from Fake Out Astro Barrage takes out Urshifu. Adi loses his Pokemon on turn one, and Calyrex gets a Grim-Neigh boost to its special attack, so it's going to do even more damage next turn. The Electro Web does land, crucially, onto both of Montana's Pokemon, lowering their speeds by one stage.
Being able to stop their Urshifu in its tracks, make sure no Fake Out, so nice. But we got to talk about that Electro Web and that speed drop over onto the Calyrex on the opposing end. Now that Adi's own Calyrex joins the field, because now you pressure a lot into the Calyrex over onto the opposing end. You are now 100% going to be faster. You do not have to worry about the speed ties coming on through, depending on how things are trained. And it's going to be a way better situation going on forward. And Ghost does hit super effective into Ghost, so you'd put a lot of pressure, even if there is the Terastallization.
Yeah, sometimes that's the best way to deal with some of the most prominent Pokemon in the metagame, is they're often weak to their own typing, like the Ghost types here. So Clefairy will swap into the Raging Bolt slot, activating that Friend Guard ability, making sure that Calyrex Shadow Rider on Adi's end takes a little bit less damage every turn. Montana says, great idea, might I join in? We got two Clefairies battle. It's like we're playing Pokemon Stadium mini games again.
And with the Friend Guard coming on in and the Terastallization as well, dropping that Ghost-type weakness going on into this match and having a little bit more of extra help with the Friend Guard, reducing the amount of damage coming on through. So both trainers swapping in Clefairy. Not surprised to see both trainers as well going for the Terastallization. A true anything you can do, I can do better type of situation.
Yeah, at least we do know that Adi's Shadow Rider will outspeed because Montana's got hit by the Electro Web the last turn, and he decides to Calm Mind instead of going for damage, boosting up Shadow Rider's special attack and special defense by one stage each. But remember, Montana already has the special attack boost thanks to the Grim-Neigh activating the prior turn. That's a +1 Astro Barrage. Clefairy hanging on with 9 HP.
The Clefairy just hanging on to the Friend Guard, will be sticking around for one more turn. And now the Calyrex on Adi's end joins Montana's and having a special attack boost. So that's so cool and dandy. But as well, that special defense, that's going to be helping going on forward in the match when you're staring down against this Calyrex, as well as your own survivability. One of the big differences in how these two Calyrex are built out. You do have to be careful, and looking ahead at this, both trainers with these Clefairies, well, what's the point of a redirection, really, if it's going to be an Astro Barrage that is a spread damage move? And Montana, since Clefairy does have full health at this point, it's going to be something that would be a little bit more difficult to take care of, especially since, assuming they're kind of similar, it wouldn't be taken down. But a Helping Hand is definitely a way to maximize this potential.
Yeah, not only +1 special attack, but now the Clefairy lending a Helping Hand means that Montana's Shadow Rider is going to do even more damage. But here's a Terra Fairy Draining Kiss, hardly doing that much. You will get a little bit of recovery, but we'll see if the Friend Guard can help keep it around.
That's a nice little chunk, considering 75% of the health is going to be restored. And when you're staring down this Helping Hand +1 Astro Barrage, any health is going to be helping you in this situation. Protect over onto Clefairy, and it's going to be a Calyrex that is hanging on through this turn. That was everything, that little bit of health. The only reason this restricted is still kicking around.
Yeah, so crucial little bits of recovery from the Draining Kiss was enough to keep it around. You still have the speed boost, but Clefairy's full HP. Calyrex on Montana's side, you saw it didn't take too much damage from that. So Montana has the Pokemon advantage as well, and his Pokemon are still healthier than Adi's.
Knowing that you still have the speed, though, this is where you can be trying to go for a power move. When you're staring down the Calyrex on the opposing end, and the amount of damage an Astro Barrage can do, it can be huge. And looking at where we're eyeing up as well, I mean, if we are looking at maybe just a draining kiss coming out from Montana's end, this protect then would make sense. Make sure this Calyrex is safe as this turn. Not the only protect coming on through, though.
Yeah, Clefairy is going to protect itself from any damage on Adi's end, but we know since his Shadow Rider protected, there's not going to be any big threats. Astro Barrage will be able to KO Clefairy on Adi's side, so now Adi is down to his final 2 Pokemon here in Game 1. It's a 4-2 Pokemon count, and Montana hasn't even shown its 4th Pokemon and has 2 Grim Nabus.
Still, when you're looking at the Calyrex at this half health and the +1 from the Calyrex over on Adi's end, you still can get pressured here. It is going to be for the final Pokemon, that Raging Bolt making a reappearance, and does have Red Damage Axe as well going on into this. Clefairy still at full health, and at this point, Montana still hasn't revealed his 4th and final Pokemon. So a lot of momentum, even when you're staring down this Calyrex that has more so speed on its end, it's still something that doesn't feel so great. If you can make it past these 2 Pokemon, there's still a Incineroar, still a 4th Pokemon in the back.
Yeah, for sure that Incineroar is probably going to be able to, take a couple hits, maybe hurt what Raging Bolt can do. So obviously Montana has a lot of momentum on his side right now. The last couple of turns have really gone in his favor. Even without getting the knockout on Adi's Shadow Rider earlier, he still is pretty strong. He will swap out his Calyrex Shadow Rider to reset that speed drop from before. Montana revealing Rillaboom as the 4th Pokemon in this Game 1. Thunderclap is going to fail since Rillaboom switches into that slot, so a great switch from Montana. But Astro Barrage with the Calm Mind boost is going to hit both of Montana's Pokemon, bring Clefairy down under half, but not even doing half since Assault Vest Rillaboom. And then the Heal Pulse is going to bring Rillaboom all the way back up.
I mean, looking at this Clefairy, what are you going to do? Follow me here on this turn. No attacking moves, and it has only Heal Pulse as a way of a viable thing you could be doing on this turn, making sure this Rillaboom is back up to full on this swap, and Assault Vest as well. Didn't really take the most damage going on into this anyways, and the swap out coming out from Montana, sure. You do lose your Grimnade boost, but you now do have an opportunity to first off hit a priority move into the Calyrex Shadow Rider, as well to swap out when you do hit the field back again. Your speed is now going to be reset. You're no longer going to be at that -1 from that very first turn of battle where we saw the Raging Bolt make an appearance the first time around. You are in a weird situation now with needing to just deal with this Rillaboom, and the Rillaboom, when you do have these grassy glides that can hit into Pokemon on the other end, definitely wouldn't appreciate it, but Assault Vest, you still took him hit so well in the meantime.
Montana nodding his head, respecting the protect from Calyrex Shadow Rider on Adi's side. Clefairy will protect as well. It's the second time that Clefairy is protected when Shadow Rider protected. The Grassy Glide goes into that protect though, so no damage will be put from Montana's side of the field here on the turn. And Electro Web does go into the protect and lands onto Rillaboom, lowering its speed. Now you have a weird spot. Critical hit didn't really help too much damage there, but both Grassy Glide and Thunderclap are +1 priority, and Rillaboom is slower now.
Yeah, but you're still looking at a Thunderclap into an Assault Vest Rillaboom, and you already saw how little the damage did on that turnaround. So you lowered...
Well, Draco Meteor would do a lot, and you outspeed.
You'd have to hit the double protect on that one, and it's still an Assault Vest Rillaboom that can still offer so much pressure on this turn. So definitely a little bit of a tough spot. Really showcasing, I think, a couple of the difficulties with the Shadow Rider in the format with the priority moves that we get to see around here. There's a lot of ways of kind of slowing or stopping the priority, and getting at this point in the match and not really having a way to be slowing or stopping the priority from the end. A little difficult, but here we go. Let's see if a double protect can be enough.
Yeah, Adi's gonna go for it. 30% chance to get the double protect, and it doesn't happen. Calyrex fails at double protect. Grassy God goes into that slot, knocking it out, and now it is Raging Bolt versus 4 Pokemon on the other side. This is one of the things that helped Montana. Getting rid of her Shifu on turn 1, knocking it out, meant that he had was losing that Pokemon disadvantage, and he was not able to switch out. Really didn't have any damage left on the team. Draco Meteor also doesn't even do half to Rillaboom because of Assault Vest, so really tough spot. Montana up 4-1. He's going to be able to win this first game.
I would like to try to build some suspense here, like hand this Raging Bolt, the super powerful Paradox, take on the world, but it's just not meant for this world. It's like when you know the ending of the movie already because it was so obvious halfway through. Thunderbolt, not going to do much.
Yeah, the Woodhammer will be grass boosted, grassy terrain boosted on this turn. So it is resisted, but every little bit helps. I know it might take a little bit longer for this game because you have the leftovers recovery, and it's not like Clefairy doesn't need damage, right?
Yeah, no, the Clefairy doesn't do much, but at this point, the towel will be thrown in and be talking about the next game situation and where we can take this. Super well played here by Montana in the battle of the Calyrex, and now we have to figure out from Adi where he wants to be going about into this game too, because it looked like from the get-go, okay, well, I got the speed drop on the opposing Calyrex, so mine will outspeed, and this is super cool, but he took so much damage onto the Clefairy to kick things off. Montana didn't take any. The Friend Guard as well, coming in so clutch for both trainers at some point, but unfortunately, Adi just never was able to take advantage of where he had set up his board state. He was never able to freely go for the damage because he was always just pressured.
Yeah, and I think that here on turn one, losing your Shifu for effectively nothing, just being at 4-3 Pokemon for the entire game, put Adi in such a disadvantage, and the Grim Neigh boost that Montana was able to obtain on his Calyrex Shadow Rider compared to just the one Calm Mind for Adi's, it just showed that it was moving at a pace, the game was moving at a pace that Adi was not able to keep up with.
And even when we're looking at the beginning of the battle, when you get the Calm Mind, it's all fine and dandy until you're staring down this Rillaboom at the end that frankly doesn't really care about you hitting into it, and also has the priority, so it double doesn't care about your special defense boost that you hit up. I'll just hit you on the defensive end, I have the priority, and you have absolutely no chance. So I would think a little bit more of an adjustment to the Pokemon coming on out. The Urshifu as well, it was something that looked like it was able to pressure from the get-go, but it got faked out, and then it got KO'd, and Montana just took an advantage right from there. It is the Focus Sash variety. There is Detect on it, so maybe even just if you could Detect past that first turn, since it does look like it could fare well into the other Pokemon around.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see if Urshifu fares better in game two, but it's not going to be in the lead this time. Clefairy and Calyrex Shadow Rider for Adi compared to the Shadow Rider and Rillaboom on Montana's side. I mean, this makes a lot of sense because the Rillaboom was really strong at the end of the last game. It's like, hey, I might as well just start stronger at the beginning of game two.
And when you have the Assault Vest and you're staring down this Pokemon, there's still a lot of damage that could be coming out over on your end. And when at least you do have the Clefairy that's next to you for that Friend Guard. And we might be eyeing up your favorite move here, which would be so sick. But the Rillaboom, you have to be careful about the fake out into the Clefairy as well. At least if that is happening, you know there isn't going to be a powerful attack headed your way.
No swaps from either trainer. That means they are committed to the Pokemon on the field to do damage right now. Adi deciding to terrestrialize his Calyrex Shadow Rider into a Fairy type, getting rid of that Ghost weakness. And Montana saying, hey, that's a great idea. I'm going to match it, turning into Terra Fairy as well. So usually Astral Barrage should be the Shadow Rider counter, but you're not even going to do that much damage.
This isn't the trainer's first rodeo, it's their second. They know that they have to be terrestrializing those Pokemon from the get-go to not lose them, and it's going to be a Calm Mind to kick it off.
Might be the difference between rodeo and rodeo, you know, but Nasty Plot from Calyrex is going to boost its special attack by 2 stages, as if he's already gotten 2 KOs. That's how much damage it's going to do when it's able to attack. The Grassy Terrain boosted Woodhammer does half of his HP, and the Sing is 55% accurate, but Calyrex dodges it from Clefairy. That is so brutal. If that landed, that could have been huge.
It definitely could. That would have been momentum changing right from the get-go in this match. And the amount of damage that you've taken on your Calyrex definitely doesn't fare well. With the Grassy Terrain recovery and thanks to the Friend Guard, does look like it's a little dicey for another bit of a turn, but it is possible. You are also next to a Pokemon that does have that Follow Me, and you did drop your Ghost type weakness, and you do have a special defense boost. So can try with that Friend Guard to be taking a round of Astral Barrage from the Calyrex opposed to you. Except it's having a Nasty Plot. So you are kind of just donezo from that amount of damage. It was important to not play passive on that turn, but you're still in a rough situation. We might go down to how these Pokemon are trained and all defensive and hope to get the speed tie.
Clefairy said, I'm not going to sing, I'm going to clap this time. Helping Hand to boost Adi's damage from his Calyrex, but Montana protecting smartly so he doesn't take any damage from this Astro Barrage. Then the Rillaboom has Assault Vest, so that means it's going to take a little bit less damage from these special attacks. But how much? The answer is the Assault Vest doesn't help too much. It does crucially help enough to keep Rillaboom around in the red and click U-turn to bring something else in for Montana.
And when you're looking at Pokemon from the back, if we are looking at Calyrex, that it's, hey, which one is going to be faster? Montana, with this Tornadus adjustment, or even if it was for Pokemon, I don't know, but even with this Tornadus, now you do not have to play that game. You can just click a Tailwind and Astral Barrage on this turn, and really, what is Audi going to say? No. You can't go for the Protect and go for a swap or a Hail Mary with the Clefairy, but it's still, when you're staring down this +2, a really, really dangerous situation. The +2 Calyrex, especially with the Spell Tag, so you already had an additional boost to your damage. That's so much.
Yeah, and with Clefairy leaving the field, that does take the Friend Guard with it, so the damage mitigation has left, meaning that Adi would have to take the full front of this Astro Barrage. Incineroar swaps into that slot as a Dark type would resist Astro Barrage, so even with the Nasty Plot boost, that's still the best option for Adi since it'll do less damage. Astro Barrage doesn't hit Calyrex, and it will land into this Incineroar on the swap in, so how much can Incineroar take? Looks like it's barely not enough for a 2-hit KO.
Definitely helps when it's a resisted hit, and this cat definitely has a little bit of bulk to it. And you do now, since the Terastallization has been spent on both ends of the board, have access to the Fake Out into the normal Ghost-type Pokemon. It's now dropped that immunity. You do have an option to stop it on its turn. And with that as well, even if there is the Protect coming out from Montana, when you're staring down the Tornadus on the opposing end, it doesn't have that Protect. You do have the +1, and you do have a potential Draining Kiss to try and recover some of your health back to help with that longevity going on into the match.
Yeah, this is a spot that I think Adi, with his Incineroar on the field, this is really different for him, because before we had the Clefairy on the field, and it's like it's not providing a lot of pressure, but at least Incineroar has some utility here. Can go for a Fake Out to force that Protect on Montana's side. You know Montana's Calyrex is his win condition. He doesn't want to take any damage. Bleak Wind misses one of the targets. It's the Incineroar, meaning Incineroar is going to recover up even more HP, and an Astro Barrage would not knock it out on the following turn. Draining Kiss brings Tornadus down to half HP, and Calyrex Shadow Rider recovering a lot because Draining Kiss recovers 75% of the damage dealt instead of the normal 50.
Especially too with that grassy terrain recovery, that is going to be helping you out. 2 more turns of Tailwind that you have to be getting through on this, and you know the Astro Barrage doesn't pressure too much into that Incineroar, at least not the most. What I'd be worried about is a Protect and a potential Draining Kiss, even coming out from Montana's end, to be dealing some damage if you are worried about something like a resisted hit here. But even just a +2 with the Calyrex, even if you think there's going to be something a little too passive on the other end, you'd either go for another turn of the setup here. The Tornadus as well, if you want to try and be shutting down Pokemon going on forward, you do have that taunt, but even just these Bleak Winds going on forward just seems really safe.
Both these trainers have only revealed 3 Pokemon so far, so gonna have to do a little detective work to try to anticipate who that 4th Pokemon is on each side. The Astro Barrage doesn't hit into Calyrex as Adi decides to protect it. Now Incineroar resisting this hit as a Dark type. Not enough, it hangs on in the red. Bleak Wind Storm, 70% chance to connect. Doesn't hit on Calyrex, obviously, but finally hits the Incineroar this time.
And that is going to be significant. It's nice that you don't go down to the Astral Barrage, so this Calyrex doesn't get another Grenade boost to go to a +3. But at the same time, the parting shot that was targeted into it was a way to try and be slowing that Pokemon down. You do have just 1 more turn of this Tailwind to getting through at this point, and Clefairy now can bring this Friend Guard back out. You've gained a good amount of health back with your Calyrex. You still don't feel like you're quite out of the woods when you're staring this down. But any attempt at a double protect or anything, I think would be absolutely disastrous. Since you have this special defense boost, you just, I think, have to survive the hit and then go on the offensive to see what can be done beforehand. And if Montana isn't picking up a KO or doing enough on this turn because of that Friend Guard, well, that's going to be a lot of damage dealt back.
Yeah, these two Calrexes, honestly, Sierra, they've been on the field the entire game. And somewhat, yes, you got set up with Nasty Bot, but they've just been alternating protects back and forth, just trying to keep themselves safe. Tornadus wants to keep itself safe as well, swapping out into Clefairy. So now both teams having Clefairy Calyrex on the field. But Adi will get a helping hand. Is he going to win the speed side there? Calyrex goes for a Nasty Plot instead of an attack, boosting his special attack to astronomical levels. But here is the Astro Barrage with the helping hand boost. Clefairy completely gone, but the friend guard was still active, so it helped Montana's Calyrex stick around.
I think that might be okay that you lost your Clefairy, though, because now you get this Tornadus back in. You have so many special attack boosts. The Tailwind is gone. You needed to make sure the Tornadus survived past that turn, and it didn't have access to protect. So, friend guard, your Calyrex sticks around. You now have a special attack that absolutely nobody wants to be dealing with, and this Tornadus can go ahead, click Tailwind on this turn, and when you're staring down the opposing two Pokemon, it doesn't matter whether it's super effect, doesn't matter. This Calyrex is about to show a world of pain to Adi's Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many players have calced their teams to survive a +4 spell tag boosted Astral Barrage from the other side.
I think we're at a +5 now.
Yeah, right with the Grenade boost there. So just absolutely crazy and perfect turn, as you mentioned here, to swap Tornadus out as Tailwind was expiring, because you see Adi does not have Tailwind. You're going to be able to set up Tailwind and have your speed doubled on your side of the field. Montana with Tailwind, meaning Calyrex Shadow Rider on his end will be moving first. Astro Barrage goes into the protect there from Clefairy, but this Calyrex is not safe from its opposing side. That is a massive knockout. Adi's down to his last two Pokemon.
Montana has played this so well, being able to set up this Calyrex for the most success. And look at that, another great Grim Day boost. It's definitely looking grim if you're Adi in this position. Montana's got the speed, he has got the power, and Adi's only got two Pokemon left remaining on his end.
It is the Focus Sash or Shifu, so you know it is going to be the Tornadus has to lay in the Bleak Windstorm to actually knock it out. So that might be one of the things you want to play for in this spot, is playing around a Bleak Wind miss.
What's really rough about the Urshifu is dropping Aqua Jet. I don't know if it would have been enough, but at the same time, you no longer have that priority on your turn as well. If you can just be getting past and avoiding a Bleak Wind Storm and be dealing the amount of damage left, that could be everything. You know that you do have an opportunity to at least survive the one hit. And again, Tornadus isn't the most reliable with the accuracy of its moves. It sucks that with the Clefairy, you can't be kind of redirecting anything since it is spread damage, but you can just literally stay safe.
Calyrex with the Astral Barrage yet again. Clefairy, that's a double protect, because Clefairy protected last turn, so he did get that one there, but Urshifu was brought down to 1 HP. So all Bleak Windstorm needs to do is connect. 30% of the time, that does not happen. Clefairy's gonna make it dramatic. Everybody's worried, but there it goes through. Adi understanding. You see the smile on his face, the nod as well. Urshifu's down. Clefairy literally does not have an attacking move either.
It's got a lot of heart, that's for sure, and that's about all it's got on its
That's
side.
all that matters.
Yeah, I don't think we're even getting to that point. Astro Barrage +6 coming on through.
Yeah, he's gonna sing a swan song now in top 4. Adi is a great sport, giving a handshake over to Montana. Mott, who's had a slow burn this season, a couple of top 32s to his name. Now he's in the finals here at the Los Angeles Regional Championships.